Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Okay, this is like everything's synchronistic, right? Everything's one, everything's connected, and as you connect to your higher vibration that you are, when you start to really accept it and receive it, and start to give back to that and know everybody else is you and that you have to treat others as yourself if you want to receive those beautiful things, not because you want something, but because you truly have love and compassion for all that is and you're grateful. That was a mouthful. All right. So I bought a book a year ago called The Law of One. And I opened it up and I read about 3 pages and said, oh my God, this is the worst thing I've ever read. What is this? It was so weird. You know, some alien being or whatever talking to somebody. And the whole channeling thing to me is still up in the air. All right, I got to take a swallow of my coffee. Because I think that you just don't know what's talking through. And half these people, they're just talking. And, you know, they're saying all this stuff. If you're really connected to a higher intelligence that is, you know, channeling through you, it's going to give you information that you couldn't possibly know yourself, right? That's how I know. And that's why I follow Bashar. Bashar never hiccups when you ask him a question. Never hiccups. There are other people who are supposedly channeling people, and I'll give you an example. One person was asked, what was in your pocket that we buried you with? And the person didn't know. They're like, I don't know what the F was in my pocket. I'm not. And I thought, no, you would have. If it's really you talking through this person, you would have known exactly what that was. That's not a trick question. So you have to be careful of all this information you get. So as soon as I read this channeling thing, I'm like, okay, Seth was cool. The messages were off the charts crazy. I went, okay, there's something to this. And then, you know, so many other good ones out there. But I have to say, I don't, like I said, really follow anybody. Now, I actually gave the book away. We have a little box in the neighborhood where you can it's a book exchange. You just put it in this box. It's a glass case. You go walking, you can go shopping in the box, and you just take one. And then hopefully you put one in there or whatever. People are always putting their great stuff in there. I put it in there. It's gone now. And I am like listening to David Wilcock, who I'm very careful about what I watch there because he gets into the secret space program and I don't even need to hear that stuff. Unless it's about ascension. He's a big proponent of the Law of One. I don't know what it is. I didn't know what it was. And last night, I watched a video on YouTube, and it said some things that were pretty profound. It says and teaches the exact same message that I got years ago when I was super awakened. I was given a clear message, like while I was jogging, I was like, whoa, this message came in, it said, everything is one thing. There is no separation of anything. There is no such thing as time. Everything that has ever happened, ever will, ever could, already exists. Because nothing can be created, right, nor destroyed. So it has to. Everything that happened in the past can be changed. Everything that happened in the future can be changed. The present can be changed. You can switch in and out of realities, right? I was like, what do you mean there's no such thing as time and everything's one? Wait a minute, everything's one. Wait, everything's one? That means there's no separation between me and God, or me and the flower, or me and this space here. I really had to compute that, and I started to think into further and further. In other words, everything's connected. Everything's intelligent. It's just one thing experiencing things that appear to be separate entities. We appear to be individuals. We're not. Because what I'm doing right now affects you, and that's why I'm here. And we've got to all connect to that oneness that we are. So I'm watching this video on the law of one. If you haven't explored this, it's pretty cool. And it's a channeled message. And these higher beings are extremely benevolent. And they're supposedly in the 6th dimension. And the message is that we are going through a major transition, the 75,000 year transition. Of course, we all knew that anyways. What that is, I don't understand. I don't try to. But I know that we have a mission, that we are not separate from one another. Everything's one thing, and all the details are irrelevant. And the law of one goes with that whole pathway, and that is, doesn't matter if we blow up, doesn't matter if, we split into 2 earths, doesn't matter. The details are irrelevant, and that's how I feel. It's like we don't have those answers. We can sit and shoot videos all day on them, still not have the answers. No one knows. The Bible says no one will know the hour or the day or what will happen. Is it a solar flare? I think all these things have already happened. I think they've happened now. I think they're still happening. I think that you and I are raising our frequency, and a lot of things have been avoided on this reality that we're in together, that there's no end to. So the law of one is exactly what I actually teach, because I'm connected to that knowing. I call it the knowing. Once you get the knowing, there are no questions anymore. There's no questions. What do I need to know anymore? We're one thing, we're one energy. I'm fully in control of everything that happens around me and how I contribute to the one, because I am the one. I'm all powerful. You're all powerful. You're all knowing. You have access to all of that. If you don't believe it, then you don't. Nothing can be created nor destroyed. Every single scenario that ever was and ever will be exists, and you can bring it into your reality with your focus and your belief and your knowing. Do you have the knowing? The knowing is that all things are perfect. Everything is light and love and free will. Now, this was interesting. I always say everything is light and love. There's nothing but light and love. And the law of one also adds free will in there. And that's why we have such diversity in our experiences, because we're allowed free will, which means even though we are light and love, we're allowed to experience the darkness, the fear, the worry, the pain, the suffering. We're allowed to experience that. Now we're here on this planet to change that, and now we have a mission. We're done experiencing these things, and there's no right and wrong. You cannot make a mistake. But what you do here will determine whether you transition to the higher dimension during this time period that doesn't really exist, in this reality that you're experiencing at this linear time moment on this planet. I've got a job to do, man. And I got to tell you what, I still continue to learn new things and say, wow. So I don't spend my time going out there and getting information. I love science, so I do watch a lot of things about science and ancient civilizations and that stuff. That's really fun to me. But going into all these other theories and stuff, you can drive yourself crazy with that, because if you have the knowing, you don't need that information. The evil forces are fighting the good ones, and I'm like, no, they're not. That's made up scenarios. You don't have to participate in that or believe it. All right, is my eyeliner? As usual, I got up and just slapped on some eyeliner. You don't have to go with any of this stuff. You can be totally independent in your reality that is shared with everyone. And when you do that, we all benefit from that collective experience. When you have the knowing, you seriously, you stop asking questions. But what it, you're all powerful. You're everything. You are all love. You are all power. You are light and love, and you have free will. What other questions could you possibly have? Am I going to heaven? I don't know. Are you? You tell me, because you're in control of your reality. I think we're already in heaven. We're just choosing to experience all this stuff, and we're allowing the negative, stuff that's going on here in the lower frequency to get to us, because we're connecting to this human dense body. So we get caught up in it. And that is the biggest challenge, not to get caught up in it. You are a perfect light being. You are a perfect light being. Love, that's all you are, that's all you came from, and there was no beginning there either. Oh, we don't need to know, we won't know. We may go past soul transition and still not know. Now, I'm going to start sharing some more things with you about, see, I'm in theta state a lot, and even every single night I'm in theta state most of the time, and I have such vivid dreams all the time. I'm like this every night. I remember all my dreams, they're so detailed. And some of them are very interesting. I'll start sharing some of that information with you. Now, a while back, a few months ago, I had let's say a master, a being come to me out in the cosmos. I was in the cosmos with this being who spoke to me and appeared to be what could be God, somebody else's version. But I was like, I said, I can't remember what I asked him, but I said, so, are you God, basically? And he said, there are others that I have to answer to. That he was, this energy, was in charge of, sorry for saying he, it. I don't want to say it, because it wasn't it was a beautiful being. It came in the form of a man. He says, I oversee this galaxy and others, but there are others above me that I answer to. And they're all one, they all work together. And not above him in a superior kind of way, but that he has to answer to. Wow, somebody's running really fast. And I wanted to know how many there were, and he said 12. Now, I don't think there are 12. I think that it's, unlimited. I think it's endless. But he said 12. So I thought that was interesting. All of a sudden, when I woke up, whoa, my idea of how things work changed. And I realized that I had an idea of how things work. So we still have these constructs, these ways we think of things, because we were brought up that way. We were told through our own religion how it is. It's, you're not believing the Jewish faith if you're Catholic, right? Oh no, I don't believe what I've been brought up. I believe this other thing. No, it's because you believe it because you were brought up and told that. That's not a coincidence, not like it's right because you happen to have been brought up and told that. So it's tough to get past those restrictions, these self-limitations, because there aren't any. When you have the knowing, you have access to all information. And you don't need to know everything. And it's more powerful that way, because now you're just focused on being and creating, not creating, manifesting, because everything's created, and just experiencing and raising that frequency. You don't have to spend your time trying to get answers to, how do I get this? How do I do this? Why is this? You just have the knowing. You know that you are it. You know that you're perfect. You know that you're light, that you're all love, that you have free will. The law of one. So I thought that was interesting, and I don't think I'm going to go back and read the book, but that's all I need to know, right? Here's another reinforcement of what I was told and believe, and that science is showing is true, that we are all one thing, everything's one energy. And see, I'm getting another surge of energy when I talk about some of these things, that it raises the the power in the room raises. I can actually feel it. So, because I'm focusing on it, right? So when you focus on it, you're connecting to it. It's reacting to you because it's flowing through you. So what you focus on is so important, and what you focus on creates what's going on around you. And if you don't like it, then you're not focusing on just being that all-powerful, loving, perfect light that you are. You're focused on the material world and what's making you unhappy and who's saying this and who's doing this, and they're fighting each other. Great, let them. So what? Who cares? Hey, if the planet blows up tomorrow, oh, okay. Hopefully it'll happen quick so I don't have to, feel physical pain. But if it does, it'd be a bummer. But there's another reality where it doesn't. And that's the reality I'm choosing, and you can choose that too. Yeah, so what? So, it's like, why do we put so much emphasis on, battling all this stuff and these, these aliens and all this? Let them go at it. That's their reality. Don't let it in your house. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You are the miracle. Be grateful for that. And send that grateful, loving feeling out into the universe. And know that it is you. And that you will benefit along with every other individual expression of the one. Namaste.